Hi, everyone. I'm Stan Garber here, one of the co-founders and presidents of Levelpath. And with me, I have
Libby Sestak, Senior Principal, AI and Solutions. Super happy to be here, Stan.
So Libby, AI. Let's talk about this. One of the big topics we hear nonstop. Let's talk about agents and how agents are changing the game.
Absolutely. So AI agents are actually not as complex as some people think. Stan, agents really are only built out of 4 different parts. Do you know what those parts are, Stan?
You need a trigger.
Yes, you need a trigger. So a trigger is going to be the thing that tells the agent to do its job. For example, maybe it's a certain time of day, Fridays at 8 a.m., or it's a project opening, or a certain step being completed in a process. Anything that tells the agent it's time to go.
Okay, so then you got the trigger. You need the context, right?
Yes. Second part is going to be your context. So your context is going to be your data or your information that you're giving to your agent. For example, maybe I need to give it all of the context of a contract so it can gather that information and give me a notification telling me about that contract.
And then you got to give it the instructions.
Yes, instructions. So we know this as prompting as well when it comes to talking to a model. We've all prompted ChatGPT or prompted Claude before. We need to give it those instructions. So far, Stan, we have our trigger, our context, and our instructions. Now, what's the last part?
Actions.
Actions, yes. What are we actually asking the agent to do? Are we asking it to send a notification, to update a project, to write us a contract? What are we actually asking the agent to do as the output of its job? That's it. So, Stan, what I would love to talk about today is where we can actually build agents inside of Levelpath.
That sounds great. Let's do it.
Let's do it. And Stan, I think we should follow what you said, that TCIA, okay, in order to build out our agent.
So let's start with the trigger.
Let's start with the trigger. Now, Stan, though we're going to start with the trigger, I think we do need to figure out what our agent is going to do.
So what kind of agent do you want to build?
Well, something that I really spend a lot of time on right now is having to write updates weekly about the projects that we're working on. So I have to send those updates and I have to, take all the information from the project, post it in the comments, and it doesn't take me a super long time, but it's kind of tedious and I'm over it.
No one wants to write updates.
No, so
There's got to be an agent for that.
Well, I think there's about to be. So I think today we should build an agent where on a certain time of the week, it's going to trigger the agent and have it actually gather the information from the project I'm working on and update automatically without me having to do anything.
Let's do it.
All right, let's do it. So team, we're gonna start off here with the first part of an agent, which is the trigger. Stan, you usually make me write my updates at like 8 a.m. on Fridays.
Sorry about that.
That's all right. I think we're gonna have our agent do it for us. So our trigger is going to be what we call a scheduling trigger. So all we have to do is navigate over to our triggers and pick the scheduling trigger. Here we go. So now that we've created our scheduling trigger, the next part, of course, is going to be our context. And usually, Stan, when I write my updates, you want to know information like how much are we spending on the procurement project, who's the selected supplier, what are we buying, all that information. So I think we need the context of the project itself. So let's grab that context. So now, so far, Stan, we have our trigger, which is the schedule. That's the date, the time that we want this agent to run. We have our project context. So that's going to be the information about the project that I want our agent to take and put into that update.
Right.
All right. And now we need instructions. Do you remember what another word is for instructions when talking to an agent?
Prompt.
A prompt, yes. So all we have to do is hop in here and grab our prompt. Now in our prompt, I'm going to write a series of instructions all in plain English. No coding required. All I have to do is tell it to grab that information from the project, write it in here, maybe put in like a paragraph. I like emojis, so I might ask for some emojis as well, and then tell it to post a comment.
I know whenever you write some of these, I always have emojis in my updates.
Yeah, that's true. Makes it more fun. So we're going to grab those emojis, grab all that context, and that's what we're telling our agent to do with our prompt. Now, what's the last part of an agent?
You gotta do an action around it.
You have to have the action. So we're actually gonna tell our agent now to update the project in the comment section with that update, okay? So I'm gonna grab that action here from the orchestration studio. Now, Stan, this is super simple. All I have to do, and it's actually the most fun part, is connect the dots. I'm gonna connect all these dots.
You're literally connecting dots.
Literally connecting dots. And after I connect those dots, our agent is going to be ready to be published and run in real time. It's that simple. Now, Stan, I think we should publish this and then come back at 8 a.m. on Friday and see if the comment's there. What do you think?
we could do that, but I'm pretty sure you got some magic to make it happen
We
now.
can just make it happen right now. So Stan, we're gonna come back in just a second and see here our agent posting that comment to the project. So let's hop over there. All right, Stan, I think it's time to run our agent. You ready?
Let's do it.
All right, let's look at that output. So here, as we navigate over to this project, we're gonna see our agent wrote that project update on my behalf.
Without you doing any work, and posted it in the comments area. I can see.
As you can see, it's in the comments. It used those emojis like we asked it to, and it gathered that information from the project, posted it all by itself. That's gonna save me a lot of time, Stan, because I'm working on a lot of procurement projects right now.
So this will go universally across every project for every single thing.
Yeah, as long as I tell it to, Stan, it is going to post this anytime I want, at whatever time I want, across as many projects as I'm working. It's really that simple.
One could say that's delightful. And the neat part about this is you think about, these are ways that you don't have to build features anymore. You literally will build agents to do some of the work that you need to do every single day. And this is just a taste of what the future of Levelpath you'll be able to do. I have a feeling there's probably a few more agents that we want to highlight in the near term as well.
What's really great about our orchestration studio is that we are giving our customers all of the building blocks that they need in order to build these features that they maybe used to have to ask us for before. And now they can build it as an agent, just like this automatic update.
Thanks, everyone.